tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Spotlight On here on AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm your host, James Lott Jr., and this is a show where we take someone in the industry and we spotlight them. I love doing that. You can follow me at Black Hope LA on Twitter. It's BLAK Hope LA, because there's always Hope LA, and James Lott Jr. everywhere else. My guest today is a true working actor and playwright, philanthropist, entrepreneur. We just want this before the show. We both have hyphenates that just go on for days. And we're going to cover it all with her. She's done stage. She had a solo show called Secrets of a Holy Father, which she wrote and starred in and got critical acclaim. She's currently starring on WGN America's hit series Outsiders, where she plays Shum Farrell, who's a family who's been in Kentucky for 2,000 years, something like that.
Yep. Yeah,
so we talk to her about all these things this next hour. I'm so happy to have her here, Tina Alexis Allen.
Oh, wow. This is amazing.
Want me to follow you around, just give you intros wherever you go?
Yeah, would you? I like that. I like that. And I'll do it for you, too.
Oh, thank you. I'll take it. Now, it's funny because when I had tweeted out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that I was going to interview you, I never know what the response is going to be online to people right away. People were retweeting, oh my God, and retweeting. Yeah. And our mutual buddy, Cassie DePaiva.
I know.
I was amazing, I love you guys.
Amazing human being.
Yes, she is. Completely amazing human being.
I love her. Great actress.
Me too. And great person. And it's funny that, it was like, oh, I'm going to have a good time with her.
Yeah, I knew it too. Yes. I know. When Cassie said you were her person, I was like, okay, all right, we're going to have a good time.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, because there's so much to start with, my first question to you is, are you living the American dream?
Totally. Absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah, I should cry right now, right?
Yes. Come on, do it.
Yeah, I might.
I'm not Oprah, but
I might. No, totally.
Yeah.
It's just, there've been a lot of seeds planted for a really long time. That's the truth. But it all feels like it's just bubbling. And first of all, just to be on Outsiders with this amazing ensemble cast.
Yes.
David Morse and Thomas Wright and Ryan Hurst and on and on. And and the character's amazing, and just everything about it is kind of perfect.
WGN is something that's been around for a long time.
Yeah. And
they got some great programming happening right now.
Yeah, underground,
baby. I was going to say underground too. So
I
interviewed a guy who was on that show too. there's some great stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I remember growing up with WGN when cable first kind of started. We were able to get that channel.
Yep.
And now there's programming. So
Chicago.
Chicago, yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
So how did Outsiders come to you in your orbit?
Well, it came very fast in the sense of, my agent in New York, that's where I live, sent it out, and I had to self-tape very fast.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My character didn't come on until episode 7, which was last week.
And,
Tuesday, actually.
Okay.
And so, I self-taped literally on my iPhone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about technology today.
I know. And then sent it off, got a call back. They said you can Skype, with the director, because he's already, in Pittsburgh scouting and preparing.
Okay.
And I was like, no way. I'm not Skyping. I'm coming. So I got on a bus and I went to Pittsburgh.
I have a home in Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh.
I love Pittsburgh, too.
I do too. And they're doing a lot of filming there now.
They are. And I knew nothing other than, old Pittsburgh, from my childhood, hearing about it. But I had never been there. Yeah. And the people are so beautiful, and it's like a small city, but hometown kind of vibe.
Completely agree. Yeah. My house, I own property on the north side.
You do?
And I do.
Wow.
I have a whole Midwest, Pittsburgh, Mid-Atlantic family area there, and it's very woody there.
Yeah.
So that's the woods mixed in with city.
Yeah. Well, you should see the set, because they just went into the woods and made this Appalachian world.
Oh my God!
Everything. So you just, and we're on these ATVs, which is really cool. And even to get to set, we're on the ATV, or they call them gators, I guess.
Okay.
And then you're you have to 4-wheel your way down to set, and it's down. And these guys, they can drive these gators like they can back up the hill. That's how good they are. And they turn around and it's like that much space before we were going to fall over, and we're 6 of us in trying to get to lunch.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
No, I want to eat, please. I don't want to die today.
It's fun. It's I mean, it's bliss.
Well, I think Pittsburgh is becoming this place where it's looking like different cities, I guess.
Yeah.
Because the downtown is there's a great little skyline there.
Yep.
All the rivers, the bridges.
I know. And in the hotel, I look almost every time they gave me the same room, and I'd come back and I would overlook, what was Three Rivers Stadiums, which is, I don't know now, what do they call PNC Park?
Yeah, PNC Park.
Right?
Yes, PNC Park.
And I was like, next season...
Yes.
Thank God there's going to be one.
Next season.
Season two.
There will be.
I'm going to a Pirates game for sure.
Have to.
Yeah, I have to. I was just, just trying to get my legs.
Yeah. I've gone to Millen Arena and seen the Penguins, and I always go to Heinz Field to see my Steelers.
You
always.
Do. I love the Steelers. When I was a kid, I was a huge Steelers fan. I have 5 brothers, so I'm just I loved actually the Steelers. And the Pirates when I was a kid, even though I'm from Maryland.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
The Orioles, I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Oops, Oriole fans. That's what we're just saying.
Sorry.
We're just saying.
Sorry.
No, but it's so when you mentioned Pittsburgh, it makes me happy because I like my Primanti Brothers sandwiches and everything.
Right, but now I get it.
Yes, see?
The colors.
That's why I'm here. That's
like
why
Steelers. Oh my God, I get the whole 5 now. Okay, I know who you are now.
Yes, you do. And my family's from New York, so I'm all about the New York family. My grandmother in Brooklyn. Shout out to her. I'm all about New York. I'm all about the East Coast and Midwest. I really, I love Los Angeles and all that, but I love it back there.
Yeah. Well, I grew up about 20 minutes outside of D.C.
Oh wow.
And so I was kind of suburb, but also on the edge of the city. And, now I live in Manhattan, and I'm out here a lot. But I love, I'm an East Coast girl.
I love it. Yeah. It just makes me warm and happy.
Yeah.
And so it does. And so so this show, explain to folks briefly what this show is about. We don't know.
So Outsiders is about an Appalachian clan that have lived on this mountain in Kentucky. So we're doing Pittsburgh for Kentucky.
Not far off.
No. And so anyway, we've lived on this mountain going back over 200 years. Wow. So we live off the grid, no technology, no money, no nothing except what you can do off the land.
Yeah.
So it is, in essence, a group of outsiders, a very large group of outsiders. Yeah. And then we have conflict with the townspeople below because the mining company wants us off the mountain for economic reasons. So it's very current in a lot of ways. Between all the fracking and a million other things going on, and a lot of people feeling a little disenfranchised these days. So I think it's hitting a chord with people.
And you play, I was saying earlier, Shern.
Yeah.
And so you must be like the matriarch. Are you like the strong woman, obviously, of the clan?
What happens is, Shern. Well, this past week, I won't be a spoiler.
Okay.
So if you watched last week, but hopefully you did, that episode 7. So Shern has a terrible loss. I lose my son.
Ooh, yes.
And essentially I blame the patriarch, or what we call the Brennan, which is David Morse, the great actor.
David Morse. Oh my God. Stage and screen and movie. He's amazing.
He's crazy. He's crazy. He's just good. And that's So anyway, but Shern holds him responsible.
Okay.
And so last week held a lot of conflict, and from hatchets to trying to get at him and get some serious revenge for this horrific loss. So this is all very fresh. So when I come in, I kind of came in with a bang of huge grief, huge rage, huge loss. Like, my world has been turned upside down. Yeah. So I've had a wonderful opportunity to just sort of step in and throw myself in with abandon.
Well, I was going to ask you, how did you get to losing a child? I mean, I have 2 grown children and 3 grandchildren. So I can't even imagine losing them. So how did you get to that place?
Well, first of all, I have an amazing acting coach, Susan Batson. So
Consu. Girl. That's good.
So Susan Batson is pretty amazing. She's Oprah's coach.
Oh.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman. In fact, I got a text from her as I was on my way, and she said, "Make sure when you're in any of these interviews that you say you're my star pupil."
Okay, say it. That's right. You're star
But
pupil.
here's the thing: I don't want to piss Oprah off. I have a book coming out.
Yeah, you don't want to piss Oprah off. Right? No, you do have a book coming out too. Yes, that's true.
So anyway, but no, Susan Batson. So a lot of layers, and look, everybody. I know that's a very specific. Can't even imagine.
Yeah, I can't even go there.
But what I do know is that I have an imagination, and I've loved and love people deeply, and those two combinations can help. And then I have had loss in my life. Lost my parents, and have had some stuff to be mad about in my life. So there's that. You know, because it's not just grief; it's shock. It's in that moment. It's like I don't know. There's no telling what it is, because I'm sure it would be different for every human being. But anyway, so a lot of layers and a lot of preparation.
How do you shake it off afterwards?
That's a good question. If I'm fortunate enough to have to just get up and go do something else the next day in terms of even on set, because then it has to be the next moment.
Oh, funny,
You have to move on because it isn't the first time you heard. Now it's tomorrow, and they're bringing his body. So that's a different experience, right? And then it'll be a week later, and then probably different types of feelings along with the rage. Along with the grief would surface. So, I don't always shake it off. That's the truth.
I was saying, it must be tough. You're human.
Things do affect me, and I feel that way too when I'm writing. Sometimes that's like sometimes I'll write for the day, and I'm, been working on this autobiography, and so I'm editing.
I can't wait. Yeah, your story. I can't wait.
Thank you, thank you. So sometimes if I write, for the day, I'll be like, just feeling like, say, funky at night or something, and then I'll be like, oh, it's because I was working on that thing, or I was writing that scene or that chapter, and so and then it's good. It's good to just take a bath and give yourself some ice cream.
Both those things you just said. Two of my favorite things.
Take a hike in Fireman Canyon.
Yeah.
Shake it off. For sure, I don't wallow in it. I move. No. Get physical usually is the antidote.
I always wonder, because that's sometimes you play these heavy characters, or you play these things, and you have to kind of. They're human. They kind of stick because they become part of you on some level while you're in the skin of that character.
Yeah. Well.
You share the same skin.
Yeah, no, it is. You give yourself over to that. And I think first it's you, because you have to have you. And then you have to layer on all the imagination. Like, I don't live outside most of the day. I don't live in those clothes. And I'm mostly not dirty because I'm not living off the land. So, all that stuff. But once you're in, and the set design and everything was just, it helps.
It helps, I'm sure.
Yeah, and chickens running around. Some goats.
Goats are kind of mean sometimes. I gotta be careful of those.
I wanted to get, play with them, but they were like, no, you can't do that. No, insurance and shit. I don't know. You can't do that. But they were so cute.
I'm sure they were. I love animals.
Yeah, me too. Fun. Me too.
Okay, so this show is a hit, and apparently it was like one of the most viewed shows that came out for the network.
Yeah.
So when you came on, this machine was moving.
They were moving. Yeah, I came on and pretty much just had to get at it. Because it was like, day 2, here's what happened, and this is your hatchet, and now you go after David Morse with it, and I was like, so funny. Okay.
That's so funny.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Do you guys ever have? Do you guys talk between scenes or ever that, or is it more like you're just getting ready for your next scenes? I
tend to be pretty focused. I don't. I think it's the athlete in me.
Yeah, I was gonna say basketball player.
I don't really chit chat. I don't really like to. I just feel like it's easier because it's so easy in the chit chat to start talking like me and become me in a second.
Oh, okay.
Because Sharon, we speak differently.
Yeah.
So even just answering sort of what's for lunch or what did you do last night, and it's like, nah.
Right.
No, I don't want to go there because this is a very specific world.
How'd you get the language down?
Well, I played it for a couple years. I played in a movie called Moving Mountains.
Okay.
And that was that accent.
Oh, I love it.
And then, and I've played off-Broadway. I played in a show called Underground, play that also had to play West Virginian. So this isn't exactly West Virginia, but and it's but it's Appalachian. They were Appalachian. So it was already sort of there.
Okay.
And then it was just the specific of her.
Yeah.
And also she doesn't read or write. So then there's a little bit something else going on.
Why do you love her?
She's fierce, man. She is fierce. Like she would kill for family.
Wow.
And sadly, you know, this is her family.
Yeah, that's like,
yeah, and so that makes it complicated.
Yeah.
But really, she's just fierce, and she loves, you know, she feels deeply about a lot, and she has just great passion. But mostly she's, you know, she's got a little badass in her. I mean, I'm thinking I should be on an ATV myself. They're only letting the guys on the ATVs right now. But I'm thinking if anyone, that maybe they'd let Shern, you know, go get some revenge or something on an ATV. I don't know.
You hear that first here. Good on. She could do it. I believe it.
If they teach me.
Yeah, you could do. I'm sure you could do it. I mean, you know, so we're gonna go a little backwards because we're talking about the show. Of course, it's out. Everybody, go ahead and watch it. It's on
Tuesday nights at 9 Eastern.
Yes.
So and it replays. So if you miss it at 6, West Coast, you 7, 8.
Yeah. WGN's good about that. So
they are.
They're really good
they
about
are.
that. So that's good. So yeah, make sure you do that.
Yeah.
Now, you also were a GLAAD Award nominee.
I was.
Because you were
Jane Lynch.
Yes.
Yeah, I was in a play, and we were all nominated. The ensemble was nominated, and working with Jane Lynch was super fun.
I was going to say, I mean, I'm sure she's just
God.
the best.
She is the best. She's really, in fact, she let me use her guitar for a while. She's really a great singer.
Oh, wow.
She plays the guitar.
Well, she wasn't
right?
She's
got a lovely voice. And
yes.
Anyway, she had a few guitars, and I was working on a project after that where I needed to learn a little bit. And so she said, I've got an extra guitar. So I had her guitar for a while.
Wow.
I did give it back, but no, she's a beautiful human being, generous, sweet, funny.
And so what'd you play in that role?
Oh, well, I played sort of a heartbreaker, which was fun.
I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Drawing experience on that one?
I definitely, my younger years,
yes.
I was a little player, I guess.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I
so
was.
for your
Basketball,
craft later.
Yeah, for my craft later.
Later, yes.
I guess, yes.
Yeah.
I drew from that. But yeah, she kind of like hit on everybody in the play. That was like the gist of it.
And how did that play come to you? How did that come to you?
That's a good question. It's been a while. So I know how it came to me. The director had been an actor, was a former actor, and had worked with me in a film I was in called Phantom Pain, where I played this transgendered long before transgender was happening and cool and interesting and important. People know it's important. Didn't know it was important then, so it was just super fringe. And anyway, that director was in that movie, and I actually worked opposite with her.
Wow.
In that movie, and then she remembered me, of course, for the.
See, that's why I wanted to ask, because it's funny how things. You could do projects and things, and people will remember you, or they know of you. Yeah. And you may not, your association may not be over. Like,
yes. No, it's so true. I mean, that's the thing about Hollywood. It in a way, it is a small town, and it's why you want to behave like a nice human being. If you want to work, you should be a good person. You should be a good person anyway. But no, there's people want to work with people that are professional and kind, and that's true for every profession. But certainly in this town, it's important, and people do remember you, and it makes that set that's moving like 100 miles an hour. It goes smoother when you just do your shit.
I agree. I always say that people should be nice. Nice should be the norm.
Absolutely.
I say that all the time. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice.
Why wouldn't you be? Really?
People aren't.
Yeah,
you know it. We know it.
I know. My mom was a really nice person. She had 13 kids, so that's a good thing. Because imagine if she wasn't nice and she had 13 kids. Oh my God.
Wow.
But my mom was a really good human being, and she was the kind of person that like always spoke to the cashier at the checkout, like always asked, how's your day? Like looked them in the eye and said like, how are you? Made them matter. And she would always say, like, if we ate somewhere like the Hot Shops or, somewhere, where maybe the pay wasn't so high, she would always say, these are the people that you have to give the bigger tip to. This is, she'd always like go that extra mile, just like common decency. But she taught me to see people, because she really was a loving human being. And
it just costs nothing. You gain so much more.
It's so much better. One thing like I find is like, if I'm having a bad day, if I just engage with someone, like my day changes. It's just right. I
have people I go to sometimes. I'm like, I know they'll help bring me out of it.
Yeah, it's like just have a conversation, not even about the problem or the thing. It's just like just get into conversation and how quickly we just.
I
get
agree.
out.
I totally agree with that. Being an actor, of course, you have to be present, obviously.
Very
present, because I believe, as a life coach, I always believe in that whole. Right. Like us right now, we're present.
We're very present.
I believe in that. So, how do you stay present?
Well, I do yoga.
Me too. Love it.
Yeah, I do Kundalini yoga. That helps a lot. I hike a lot. And just like in terms of technique, like I just make sure that, because the nerves are the antidote to the being present, right?
Yep.
So it's like that'll just take you out of anything you want to be in, right? Yeah. And then it's like the senses, it's a really basic thing. Like there you are, with those things on your ears and your chic black glasses and your gray and your it's like it's just here right now. And so it's a muscle actually that I try to practice even when I'm not working, because it makes life way better. Truthfully, I feel like the idea that an actor's job, truthfully, the bottom line is to be present, right? That is the job.
Yeah, right.
You just have to be right there.
Right.
You pretty well will do a good job if you are totally there. So I feel like what an amazing gift that I have a career that demands me to be present.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know? Yes. And it's like that, because that changes your life. It changes everything.
Oh my God, yes,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I believe in energy and everything, and we're just like, when you're fully present in something, there's nothing better.
Right.
It's a natural high.
It is. It's the point of it. Right. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
And I've done a little bit of acting in my time.
You did?
Back in the day.
What?
I was on House season 4, episode 4.
Wow.
Years ago. But I did a few things here and there. But I'm actually going to do a web series with somebody. I'm doing a cameo coming up in New York. Actually, in New York.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good.
Somebody called Broken at Love. It's a great series.
What's it called?
Broken at Love. It's a series.
All right.
So the creator and we're good friends. So I'm saying, I haven't done it in a long time, but I'll try it.
Fantastic. I know you're natural. You're natural.
Oh, that's right.
You have a little like James Worthy. Do people tell you
yes,
that?
I have. Yes, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yes, my mother knew somebody in his family actually.
Is that right?
But you said that, I'm like, and I'm blanking out which member.
What were they
family.
called? The Showtime, right?
Yeah,
Is it
Showtime. Yeah. So that's kind of
amazing.
Now, you bring up basketball.
I can't help it.
Now, I live in Inglewood.
All my references.
Well, I live in Inglewood where back in the 80s, it was the Lakers were there.
Yeah.
We're called the City of Champions because they won three rings and everything there.
Yeah.
So basketball, reading your bio, that was your first kind of go-to thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just lived and breathed it. My mom would just always be like, is that basketball attached to your hip or what? Yes, it was. My brothers were into it, and I'm the youngest. So
Wait, are you the youngest of 13?
I'm the youngest of 13.
The youngest of 13.
I know, and I'm still standing.
Oh my God, that's crazy! Wow.
Yeah. It was fun. So I I learned from them, and I played really young, all sports, anything to be with my brothers. I was just always hanging out. So I played. I probably started when I was like 7. Yeah. And started playing competitively when I was like 9 or 10, and then I went to college on a basketball scholarship.
Yeah.
And played. I had dreams. I tried out for the Olympics. I didn't make it. But,
so you did?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's okay. Then I realized at that point, okay, that's not going to be my future. And then I went to grad school. And I shifted gears. And
you got a business degree.
Yeah, I got an MBA.
Yeah, so you go, girl.
Yeah.
So you're pretty. You're smart. You're athletic. Like triple, quadruple threat.
Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you.
But with the basketball, what did you learn that still serves you well today from playing basketball?
So many things. So many things. You know, being unselfish.
Ooh, okay.
And I think that, you know, when you're playing, it's about the team, right? So it's like, in order to win, you can't win. It's not tennis.
Oh, right.
You can't win by stepping onto the court and just, you know, well, maybe if you're Michael Jordan, but I wasn't.
Right.
So,
right.
you know, other than that, you cannot win. So, so you have to look at how you serve. And I feel like whenever I go to set, and it's a bit of an antidote to ego, nerves.
Oh yeah.
You know, selfishly, it's unselfish. If you're unselfish, it serves you selfishly. Because then it's like, how do I serve here? Like, Sharon isn't the star of the show.
Right. No. Right.
David Morse is, and then there are others too that you know have much more screen time. It's like, my job is very specific, and I know what she's supposed to do in season 1 and what purpose I believe she's there to serve. So I'm just there to be of service. So on the court, it's the same way. It's like, if I happen to be a 2 guard, so I shot a lot.
Okay.
That made me very happy.
Okay.
I like to shoot as opposed to being the best defender, for example.
Okay.
But so there was a role, and that's it. It's just like, what's your role? And that stays. And then discipline.
Yeah, discipline.
You know, discipline is just huge. It's like, it's not over, and you got to put the time in, and you don't just show up on court and like you're ready for the game. It's like, it's months, and it's all year, and it's summer leagues, and it's drills by yourself, and all the time. You know, so I loved it. I'm a total junkie.
Our engineer, she's also a big basketball fan.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She's a very big basketball fan.
Yeah.
But it's just funny when you said that, I was like, yeah, basketball. I'm like, yeah, because the team spirit.
Yeah.
There's something about that. It's about you know your role, and you know what you need to do.
Yep.
So if you take the ego out and do that.
Yeah.
Then you're good to go.
Yeah, and I like coaches. Like, I've always had coaches, so I love, like, my relationship with Susan Batson, for example. And I've been with her.
Totally works.
Oh, it totally works. I rely on her, but I also understand it's up to me. Yes. I listen. Yeah. You know, it's not about being right. I just there to suck it up and learn and soak it in, and so there's that. And it's the same with directors. It's like they're there to guide, and I'm there to deliver, and then, you know, it's simpatico. Yeah. Hopefully, and
So how was the way, because you've done some, you know, transgender roles and gay roles, and how's it been with that community with you?
Well, good. Well, good. Yeah. I hope I'm loved.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are.
I hope I'm loved by all.
Sure you are.
But yeah, no, I mean, a GLAAD Award, so that's you know, to be nominated is huge, and feels.
How was your award show? I've never been to one yet.
I have to say that I couldn't go.
Oh, you couldn't go?
I was in New York at the time, and I didn't really get the scope of. I was so busy, I think, working at the time, immersed in a role that it kind of passed me by, sadly, because it just happened so fast. And then I was like, I think I just missed something really important, and I didn't go. And oh my God, I probably should have. And anyway, it makes me sad to think that I wasn't there. But anyway.
It's nice you got it. I'm sure they all love you.
Thank you. Good. Thank you.
Now, you are a playwright. You're a writer.
Yes.
And which I love that, because I'm a writer also. I love that. And I have a book coming out too this year.
Oh, fantastic.
A Lifelong Dream.
Uh-huh.
I've been checking things off my bucket list.
I love it.
Just like, just do it, right? Just do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, so being you did a solo show.
Yes.
Which I love talking to people who do solo shows, because I'm always curious. How did it come to be? Like, how did you come to decide you want to do a solo show?
Well, my God, I think I saw Anna Deavere Smith.
Ooh, love her. Oh my God.
Do Twilight Los Angeles, I believe it was called, down at the Mark Taper.
Okay.
Many years ago, and I just saw her do like about 100 characters to perform and explain from a profound 100 different perspectives the LA riots.
Oh wow!
So I think that's essentially what the show was.
Okay.
And I was just in LA, and I was new to acting, and I just was like, I want to do what she's doing. Like, she's so good, and she just told a story from so many points of view, and And then I had seen Lily Tomlin shows, of course, and that was inspiring. But I think it was Twilight that really was like, I want to do that. And then I have 12 siblings, so I have a lot of material.
Yes, you do. You got plenty of material.
And I have, and so I did a first solo show playing about 15 different characters. Some of my siblings and our housekeeper and my father's secretary and my parents and so on and so forth. So it was, there were people I know, and it was just a, whirlwind storytelling based on, these different perspectives, which I really like. I like stepping into other people's shoes and getting out of my own.
Okay, that sounds good. That's why you're an actress. And a writer. Sure,
And then
so this show was basically based on, if I have this correctly, a secretive double life of your father.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Well, that's basically what the book also is going to explore. So out of respect to HarperCollins,
don't play. Okay, that's fine.
I can't be a total spoiler with it yet. It's going to come out in early 2017. Day Street Books.
You have to come back. We'll talk about it.
I would love to.
We'll do that.
But I did play him, and I played him Off-Broadway, and that was the lead-in. And having played him a little bit in the first solo show, he has such a huge story, which I get into, and my relationship with him was quite secretive. So he and I carried each other's secrets, I'll say, and it became a very bizarre and profound father-daughter relationship that had a really big impact on me in many, many ways. And and I adore him, and both my parents happened to be gone, but I had the opportunity to spend a lot of quality time with him and learn a lot of secrets that he had. Work secrets, personal secrets that I do reveal in the book and in the show, some of those. But the thing about the show was like playing him, first of all, playing a man was really terrifying.
Oh, I'm sure.
In that way, because even though I had done a little bit of that, the transgender was male to female. But it was really leading more with the female. But anyway, but playing him, he was my dad. And so the best thing about it was that by the time I was done, I didn't really judge him before I did it, because I couldn't have done it. So I had anything that had needed forgiving was already done. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to write it and perform it. But what I did learn is that he all those secrets he was keeping, he didn't necessarily want to be keeping. And I didn't know that, because I just saw him as my dad. I just was like, oh, that's who he is. It's like you look at your parent and you're like, well, that's who they are. And then when you grow up, hopefully, you start to look at them like a human being instead of your parent. And go, oh, they're human like me. Oh, that's how I feel now at this age.
Completely.
Right?
Yes.
They must, oh my God, that's how they felt when they were that age, and then they had all these kids, and then they had that, and oh my God. And I don't have half of that, and I feel this way. So that's what I got from playing him, was deep compassion and just sort of detaching more and going, wow, respect and love just on deeper and deeper levels.
So it made you basically kind of fall in love with him more?
Totally.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh my God. And it was horribly difficult to play him.
I'm sure.
To step in, to really go there. It was like almost like I don't even know how to describe it, because it's so personal. So it's not just slipping into a character.
No, not at all.
It was giving myself over in a way I don't think I ever have to a character.
And was it harder than writing it, because you wrote it?
Yeah, not as hard writing it as playing.
You're right. I'm thinking
because I'm still a little detached on the page. It's like, okay, and then he said that. Then he said that, but now I have to
mouth it out. I'm sure.
And be in his body. And a shout out to Barney's, because they gave me. This is a funny little story. So I had done it Off-Broadway. As a workshop in the city at Cherry Lane, and then I brought it to LA to workshop it a bit. And I was going to do a big run back in New York. When I came out here, the CEO of Barney's had seen the show in New York. And I was thinking, it's time for like a new suit.
Oh, how funny! Oh my God.
Because he needs like a really fine suit. And I was kind of working on what I had kind of put together. And so I reached out, and they're like, yep, go to Beverly Hills, go to the men's department, and they're going to fit you. Yeah, he was, I mean, Mark Lee, God bless him. He was a big supporter of my show. And then, so I, that was really kind of weird.
See, it just goes to show you never know who's watching.
Right.
And what opportunities will come out of that.
Totally. Yeah.
Hey, come on, the CEO of Barney saw you.
Yeah. No, I tease him like always. I'm like, you're my angel. And it's not, the suit is beside the point.
Yeah, right,
no,
right,
he's
right.
just been such a champion and supporter and amazing.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
What is one of the things that you found when you were writing it or acting on it of your dad that was still super hard to do? Can you reveal that or no? Is it something that just you still had a problem with, and you're still like, this is still I gotta get through it though, but it's like it's still really difficult.
I did without going too far. I performed a sex act on stage.
Well, there you go.
And
okay.
So to do that fully, in the sense of committed, as him.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, that was kind of risky.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Wow. Because think of your parents sexual too. That's the whole other story.
Yeah. Well, it's.
I mean, obviously they have kids, but we still don't think of them as sexual human beings.
Absolutely, they're just like mom and dad, and they cook and make the money and go off and work, and it's like, but that's the point. It's like they're human beings, beings.
You're right. I learned about my parents being human beings as I got into my 40s.
Yes. And
it hit me then.
Yeah, that's when it, Then
it really hit me because I have grown kids who were saying things to me.
Yeah.
My thing was I had a difficult relationship with my father too, and my thing for me, and I was a father I felt like I didn't have to my kids.
Yeah.
So it was a full circle moment for me, but I was able to forgive him.
Yeah. That's it.
And that's just kind of like you just said with your stories. It's like you writing it out, acting it.
Yeah.
You were able to really look at him fully.
Absolutely. And understand, even though I knew a lot of why and what earlier, where my siblings didn't.
Yeah.
I still had things, because then I was at a place like, oh, well, why me? Or maybe I didn't need to know that, Dad, at that point. But then in the big picture, it's like, no, we were there to love each other. There's a reason we were able to support each other. We were able to be something to each other that may be kooky to others, but in a way it's like, oh, that support and love was necessary for both of us. And, it wasn't, something maybe that was, let's just say it was unorthodox, but nevertheless, who's to say?
I find it beautiful, actually, because my mom and I are really close in age.
Yeah.
So we have an unorthodox kind of brother-sisterly kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's my mother. I mean, and I'm her son.
Yeah.
But I find that unorthodox sometimes is good also.
Unorthodox is great. I mean, God, isn't it like the goal, just like not to play by any rules?
Yes, exactly.
Be a good person, but you don't have to play by any rules, right? It's just like, let people just be who they are.
Exactly.
Everybody's happier.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, what is your writing? How is your writing? Do you just write when you feel it and purge it out, or do you have a set schedule? Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, if I'm not in a project, I try to write every day. And I tend to write in the afternoon. It's funny. I write in the morning when I'm in LA, and I tend to write in the afternoon when I'm in New York because I like to work out.
Oh, how funny!
in New York in the morning because I have a gym in my building.
Okay,
so I just have a rhythm, and then I tend to write in the afternoon and head out to the coffee shop. When I'm in LA, I write where I live here. Yeah. So a little different depending on what coast.
Oh, how funny.
But no, writing every day is the key, and even writing bad is the key.
Well, just writing, period, right? Just get it out. Just get it out. You can edit everything later.
Yeah, well, that's what they say. It's like you have to be willing to write poorly.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I've scrapped treatments. I've scrapped actually a couple whole books.
Yeah.
I read it and I was like, this is not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, right?
And I was okay with it. I was like, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we live in the age we do, because I can't imagine just writing and then being like,
yeah.
It's like
the
there
old
goes
days.
Another tree.
Right. Exactly like the old, I know.
No.
God, I was watching something the other day and they brought out a typewriter and I was like, I remember typewriters.
God, really?
I remember I learned in high school how to type on a typewriter. Then you write all that you write all that paper. You're right.
Yeah, right. Were they actually typing?
Yeah.
The person you were.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like,
Wow. I hope at least electric and not the ones with
No, it was no electric, no Brother typewriter or anything, one of those or whatever. Texas Instruments. No, it was none of those. It was an actual typewriter.
Like a real.
And I was like,
wow.
I kept staring at it.
Right? It feels like your arms would have like a whole workout, right?
Oh my God,
like,
can you imagine?
Right? It seems so easy to.
Yeah. That's how I learned.
We're so blessed.
We are.
Yeah, right?
We are. But my grandmother always told me, if you know how to type, you'll always have a job. That was back in the day.
Really? I wasn't going there. No way. No way. Don't look at me like I'm going to be your secretary.
I come from a practical nature, so
that's good.
But I came out of that, and now I'm in this unpredictable business. But yes, I did start my practical beginnings. I'm a Taurus. I can't help it. I'm like ground, earth. Yeah. But I'd like to also be out there and do my own thing too.
Yeah,
and
you're a Taurus.
Yes, I am.
Nice.
I like to throw out custom in. Yes. Yeah. You throw it out there. I like another tree, leave me alone for a while. And the horns do come out when upset.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. So I love it.
Yeah.
But so when you finish that run of that one man, I'll say one man show.
Yeah,
basically
it was one man
show.
Yeah.
How did you feel after that finished product? How did you feel about it afterwards?
I wondered, was I ever going to have the guts to do it again?
Yes.
It really took a lot out of me.
I'm sure.
But I felt great. I felt I felt like I kind of was of service, because I noticed that a lot of the people who saw the show, which is what makes me happiest, is when the audience is able to take that thing that they're watching and it becomes universal and personal to them. So people coming to me and talking to me about their parents, about their relationship with their dad or their mom. Or I remember this woman in LA once came up and said, in fact, she texted me, I think, or emailed me after the show, and she said, thanks to you, I called my mom today. And she hadn't spoken to her in 20 years or something.
Oh my God.
That's enough right there.
Yeah, it is.
Right? But that was the most satisfying thing about it. And then after being out here with a couple workshops, my literary agent saw the show and told me to write a book. So that's how it came about. Yeah.
Did any of your siblings see the show?
Yes, actually. I'm trying to think how many. A few saw it.
Okay.
I had a lot of nephews and nieces that saw it.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of nephews
and nieces. I'm sure you do.
I think I would like to tell you exactly how many, but we're into the great nephews and nieces.
Oh, that's right. At this point, oh my God.
Yeah. So there's a lot of them. But I had a lot of my nephews and nieces who saw it. And that was most special because
their
grandpa, and a lot of them didn't know him that well.
Oh, wow. Okay,
some because, they were younger. Yeah. And also because he traveled a lot, or they lived out of state, a number of them. So they were very grateful and compassionate and loving.
Oh, good. Okay.
Very loving.
Nobody really went crazy on you about it?
Look, there's 13 people. Yeah. Everyone has an opinion.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So it's all, people are in different places with things. I think anyone who writes a memoir or works with autobiographical material will bump up against, hey, that wasn't my experience, or hey, that wasn't my experience. And I respect that. It wasn't their experience. Yeah. So if that ever comes up, I think there's mutual respect, and it's okay, because we understand that, each of us has a right to tell our story. Yeah. And our story is different. My perspective is different, and I get to have it, and I love that they have theirs.
What did you learn in business school that has helped you also in this acting? Because basically you are your brand. You're an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
All actors are entrepreneurs, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So what do you take with you from your business training?
Yeah. So I think in business you understand that it's not personal, and even though I had a business background, that also still took me a little time.
Oh wow!
Because but overall, I'd say it served me really well. It's not personal. And the other thing, how it served me, is that I think it's made me very proactive. So it's that entrepreneurial spirit. Is what led me to write a solo show, because I wanted to work. Yeah.
This business is tough sometimes.
Yeah, I didn't want to sit around. That wasn't my nature. I had never sat around. So sitting around waiting for the phone to ring was unacceptable. Yeah. So I did lots of stuff like that. I started writing for that reason, because I didn't want to sit around and wait. And so business, I think served me in that way.
Yeah.
Like, just if it's not there yet, then go create it. Like, right, your web series and whatever.
The
The many things that you do, I'm sure it's like all those hyphens are things you've created.
Right. No. Right.
To have a full life. And I want to be busy in the entertainment business, and so I just have committed to just continuing to create lots of stuff.
And you're in the right time period too. I mean, nowadays
you can.
Like you said, an iPhone.
Right?
You don't even need a camera anymore.
I know.
You can seriously film. They filmed a movie on an iPhone.
I know. Actually, Tangerine.
Yeah, Tangerine.
Yeah, the producer that did a movie, Tom's Dilemma. He was the producer of the movie Tom's Dilemma that I just did.
Because the girl just won Best Actress in Spirit Awards.
So got a lot of.
But I mean, iPhone kids, iPhone.
I know. There's no excuse to not just
be creative.
Go for it.
And go for it.
You can. I mean, it's just not needing all that, approval and permission and stuff, and business helps with that too.
Yeah, and I'm sure it does. No, I'm sure it does. But speaking of business, you have a partner, you have a business.
Yes,
you're wearing.
I am.
One of your pieces is beautiful.
Gina Raffaella Design is the name of the brand, and we take bullets and deconstruct them.
I love that.
She's a designer. She's a former artist and jewelry designer, and so we take bullets, no gunpowder. It's all safe.
Very good.
And deconstruct them and make them into something beautiful. And we are in Barney's, so
I know.
Back to Barney's.
Barney's is the bomb.
Barney's
That's
is
right.
all day today.
Yes.
And so we give partial proceeds to nonprofits that support peace.
Like some are Stop Violence Against Women and Gun Sense.
Yes, Moms Demand Action.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, it's just about awareness and just symbolically taking something obviously that symbolizes something potentially dangerous and violent. Potentially doesn't have to be if we don't make it that way. Yeah. But and making beauty out of it.
You are a repurposer. I don't know if it's a word. I'll make it up. You repurpose.
Transformationalist.
Yes, I like that even better.
Yeah.
Because I'm noticing with your work with your dad. It's like that's you, isn't it?
That's that life coaching you coming out.
I know it is.
You totally nailed me.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
I get it.
You totally get it. That's
I totally
exactly.
Get it. That's I love that.
I love taking something that might appear to be dark, difficult, shameful, bad, ugly, whatever label you want to put on it. Like I really get off on taking that thing and turning it on its head and making something really fantastic out of it, whatever that might be.
Whatever form that is.
Yeah, whatever form. Fantastic could be just be to me, but hopefully to others as well.
I love that. You come from center. I love that. I know I'm like life coaching terms. You come from center.
I love
do.
that.
Thank you.
Come from center. I'm stealing that.
You take it. Take it.
I like it.
I always come from center. That's how you start. That's how you start, right?
That's beautiful. Yes, very much so. That's it.
That's how you start.
Yeah. You come from center. That is evident.
Thank you. Thank you. And I hate to say our time is up.
I can't believe it. It went like a bzzz.
So you have to come back, of course.
I would love to come back. We'll come back when the book's out.
Yes,
I'd love to come back, and we'll get into
it.
Okay. Life coach and all.
Yes, we'll do. I'm in, girl. I'm in.
Yes.
Now tell people again where Outsiders is. You can tell them that camera where they should find it.
Sure. Outsiders is on WGN America Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. LA time or Pacific time, and it repeats. So if you miss it, you can watch it again. Yeah. And it usually repeats during the week too.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm really so special to be with you today. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Everybody, it's another Spot On, Miss Tina, and you can follow me at Black Hope LA on Twitter, and I'll be hooking up on there. You'll see more about her on there too. Actually, tell them where your Twitter is also.
Yes, at Tina Alexis Allen, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
That's right.
Yes.
Thank you for watching here on AfterBuzz TV, and we'll see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.